It is jumping into the game. Alternate attacks player in the blue. It is the Zerg Lambo.
Yep, and his opponent from the Netherlands, the people in chat are convinced he is a god, but he took a little bit of a beating last game. Can he pull it back and clean out this series? It's the red player from ATCM, uThermal.
Let us see. Lambo probably going to open in the same way with the hatchery first. He's so used to doing that. Or maybe we will see a pull first, but you know, he's up against a Terran, really not any reason to open with a pull unless you are very, very aggressive minded. So I'm really expecting a hatch to go down first. uThermal probably will be opening with Reapers as well. Now this map is not as good for Reaper harass as the previous one. Unless you, I mean, it's kind of good and bad. Bad in the sense that you can't abuse as big of a cliff area in between the natural and the main. Good in the sense that the natural is wide open and it's really big, so you have a lot of space to outmaneuver the queens and the zerglings and take pot shots at the drones as you're skirting by.
Yeah, I was actually maybe expecting a 2-Rex from uThermal. He's not doing it, but I do know that in the past he's
oh yeah, he was doing that a lot.
And he has an excellent 2-Rex. The only reason he was losing the majority of those games is just because the opponent saw it coming. Because he did it in 9 out of 10 of the games, but he's not doing that. I think this would have been a good time to vary up his build a little bit, but it looks like he's going for the same old, and it did very good in the other games. But last game he did take a little bit of a punishment behind from Lambo, and he has to be wary about it. If he goes for 3 command centers again, and Lambo does a similar style, he has to hold that.
Yeah, he has to. It will be slightly... I think it should be slightly easier for Lambo to defend the third base once he gets his banelings out, because there are a lot of narrow areas around here. But at the same time, once uThermal starts pushing at around the 11-12 minute mark, when the non-stop push of doom comes from the Terrans more often than not, the tables will turn a little bit, because Widow Mines, the same goes for them. Basically, whoever controls the chokes here and around the bases will have the better engagement, in my opinion, almost always.
Yeah, it's a hard third base to defend for a Zerg player, but I do feel like he could do it. He could definitely do it, and the 4 base is a little bit easier, in my opinion, because you get into a better position after that. It does look like Reapers are going to be the bane of Lambo's existence at the beginning of the game again, and the first one's already poking at an egg. If there's no units, he will just shoot the egg, there you go, and picking off these Zerglings. But so far he has had decent defense against them, though.
Yeah, he's had. That's true. 0 Zerglings have been killed so far. Couple of drones about to pop at the natural. Lambo immediately building an extractor out of that one. Really focusing on not losing too many Zerglings. Spore Crawler going down. So far, very nice defense there. Losing a little bit of a health on that queen. The Zerglings will have to come down from the high ground and try to chase those Reapers away, I feel like. Oh, look at this. uThermal, so smart. He's like, you are waiting for me with those lings up there, are you? Are you not? Well, I'm not gonna jump up there. I'm going to wait for my health to regenerate. Rendezvousing with the third Reaper. And speaking of number 3, third command center going down for uThermal. So far, the exactly same opening as before.
Didn't he add 1 more Reaper, or was it 3 Reapers left? I'm not sure.
I think it was 3 Reapers before as well.
Alright, he's gonna pick up this queen again, which is infuriating for Lambo. It must be. Oh, he's not picked it up yet, and it is in the back right now, so he's doing a good job protecting it, actually. It had like 7 health left or something, but it's regenerating. Yeah. That's good.
That's a very important queen as well. Because he's only at 3 queens right now, so he loses 1, then it either slows down his creep spread actually quite a bit, or you miss out on the larva injects. Now, obviously, you don't want to miss out on either, because you want to be taking that third base, which Lambo is doing right now.
Yep, uThermal's base is wide open right now, though. There's no wall to speak of right now. In last games he did have that, but this game around, so far it's not there. And he is actually playing defensively right now. He doesn't want to move out because he knows that there's Zerglings on the map trying to get in. So that's a little bit of an awkward position for him.
Yeah, and also on this map, the ramp is just too wide to wall off easily, so uThermal will have to build a wall in between the refinery and the ramp, as he's doing right now. There is one huge negative to this wall in terms of defending such an expansion, is that you cannot deny high ground vision from your opponent, because he can get over the ramp very easily. You have no way of stopping him when you build your wall like this. So even without overlords overhead, Lambo is always going to see what he's running up against.
Yeah, but you can already see that Lambo's play is having an impact on uThermal, because he's playing so defensively when in game number 1 he was just full out aggression. He didn't care what he had in his base. It was all fine, and now he actually defended until he got the wall up. He was actually scouting for the Zerglings just a little bit outside of his base, and now he's attacking with the Hellion. So far picked off one drone, but no huge damage has been dealt. And by the games earlier, I don't think that Lambo is going to take that much damage, but the Hellions are going to try and run into the natural, it looks like.
Yeah, there were a couple of drones ready for transfer to the third base. This is exactly what uThermal is looking for right now. He's looking for drones. Lambo making sure that there are not as many at the third base. He's... Oh, look at this! Like, just by moving with those Hellions near that third base, uThermal is forcing Lambo every single time to pull those drones away. But Lambo playing so carefully. He does not want to give uThermal a single drone kill if he can help that.
Yep, he's... It's almost like the drones have an ability that when an Hellion comes too close, they just walk away. That's the way he's playing it right now. Very rapid responses. Look again with the Zergling movement, with the Queen movement. It's excellent. From uThermal though, we do have once again very quick upgrades. The starport coming in, 3 extra barracks added on. When I check his base, I see the base that I've seen all day. The same timings, the same buildings, and the same style.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference on Lambo's part. He is playing Tefel style. He's going Roach Hydra, man. Or maybe even pure Roach like Hyun used to do a couple months back. And uThermal so far has no idea. Not seeing a single Baneling could be an indication to him. And even Lambo is very careful not to show Roaches to uThermal. Even if he did, then just showing 6 Roaches or so is fine. That's a normal response, or one of the common responses against Hellion harassment. But, I mean, uThermal is playing completely in the dark so far. He's very reluctant to use scans, and this could prove to be his downfall. Even the Roaches, as they're moving out on the map, they're trying to avoid the common paths, and now he knows, will it be too late? Because he's focusing on Marines, not Marauders.
But this is not game number 2. This is not that all-in from Lambo. He is taking a 4th base behind it. He is on 60 drones. But uThermal still has to defend against this. He could lose his 3rd base. He's already lifting off. The damage has already been dealt by Lambo. If he would just pick up the SCVs, pick up the depots and go back, he would already be in good shape. He's killing the engineering base. The upgrades did just finish, but it's gonna set back uThermal a lot. He's actually pulling up the SCVs. He doesn't have that much to hold it here. There's no bunkers either.
And you know, Lambo does not have to kill uThermal here. All he has to do is kill enough of his econ. 21 SCVs have gone down already, 22, and the count is rising as uThermal was forced to pull those off the mineral lines. Lambo is just trying to get as much value for these Roaches as possible without risking himself open to a counterattack. And the funny thing is, this attack came at exactly the time when uThermal was just about to drop with his first 2 medevacs, and when he saw those Roaches, he turned those medevacs around and unloaded them in the natural so that he could defend. Because without those 2 medevacs full of Marines, he would already have had a dead natural base.
But this is a very scary time to be uThermal though, because if you check his vision, he doesn't know about the 4th base. And there could be a situation where he thinks that he won the game right now, because he held that attack, his opponent invested a lot in that, and that's it. But his opponent was never meant to kill him with the push.
I think he actually suspects that that maybe there is a 4th base, or that he's playing... Yeah, I mean, there is no continuous aggression from Lambo, so...
Here, now he knows. Now he knows. With the
now
medevac,
he knows for sure, yeah.
Yep. Scouting the 4th base, he knows what's going on. But you can see by the reaction of the medevac and the way that he did that, he didn't expect it to be there.
Yeah, he was just trying to make sure, because it could have been the case that Lambo was playing only off of 3 bases, pulls back for a while, regroups, and attacks again with a way stronger army. So uThermal, he really needs that third base of his, so he wanted to make sure if he can afford to fly that out.
Yeah, but now it's going to be even upgrades for both players and very much an army advantage for Lambo, I would say. But the position is not the greatest right here. Widowmines could do a lot on those chokes, but already uThermal backing off because he knows that Lambo has been making units in the process.
Yeah, there is one huge weakness to this strategy that Lambo is playing, and that's the lack of anti-drop defense. Now uThermal, he's not using his medevacs so far. He does have an awful lot of them, 11 medevacs just with this army. He could start dropping left and right. The problem for him is a little bit that his ground army is not as big, so if he drops every which way, his third would be left wide exposed.
Oh my god, Bell, the amount of banelings that are following these roaches is getting crazy.
You know who this reminds me of? Nurchio. He does this quite a lot.
And the medevac's gonna spot this, and this is not a position you want to be in, because here just comes everything. A very good free spread by uThermal is gonna negate a lot of this baneling pressure. The Widowmines are there, and they're gonna have to be key. They're gonna have to splash on these units, but so many banelings are coming in, and they're rolling in, already doing a little bit of damage, but not the critical amount of damage just yet, Bell. And the Marines are still holding up, but here come the rest of the banelings.
Oh, uThermal will have to pick up those Marines into the medevacs. If he's not careful, he's trying to split to the best of his ability, pulling back the Marines, but it's not enough. Look how many roaches are still remaining. They're attacking simultaneously the third and the natural base. uThermal retreats into the main base. GG gets called. uThermal unexpectedly losing the series, and he will still have to fight for his life in the tournament with Lambo advancing from first place. Wow.